Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with the Stronach 5 analysis for Friday, December the 6th. We'll throw up leg A, race number 8 at Gulfstream Park, 5 furlongs on the turf, approximate post time 4 o'clock Eastern. The Stronach 5, of course, will have a $100,000 gross pool guarantee. It is a $1 minimum wager, low 12% takeout. 3 races at Gulfstream this week, 1 at Laurel, 1 at Golden Gate Fields. As usual on these videos, I'm going to give you my early opinions as we are way before scratches, program changes, track conditions, etc. And when it is time for you to make your final opinions, I would urge you to use DRF Ticketmaker, available on DRF.com, DRF Bets, Formulator.drf.com, etc. Utilize Steve Christ's formula for weighing your best plays, utilizing his A, B, and C formula. Race number 8, Gulfstream Park, 5 furlongs on the turf. I want to use 3 horses in this race. 2 horses that I know are going to be forwardly placed are the number 4, Valaro, the 8, Sweet Yare, and Dira. Valaro last time out was in sort of a tough situation. There was a runaway leader in the first half mile of that 5 furlong race at Gulfstream West. This horse was on a hard chase. That horse on the lead eventually faltered. Valaro made the front, but I think chasing that horse early just took a little bit too much out of this 6-year-old mare. She was run down late. It was a career best Beyer speed figure on the turf for her. She is still a turf maiden after 8 starts, but she's very honest, 28 out of 40 in the money. She's won a quarter of her lifetime starts, and I think she could be a pretty decent price in here for low-profile connections. She's going to show speed along with the 8, Sweet Yare and Dira, who's probably the horse to beat simply because she was claimed out of her last race by Jorge Navarro, and we've just seen Navarro move horses up drastically over the past several years, especially down at Gulfstream. Sweet Yare and Dira lacks a winning profile, second in 9 of 33, but she does have good early speed. She's going to be forward under Paco Lopez, and after Navarro claimed this horse, he has given her 4 workouts, including a very quick work on December the 1st over the turf at Palm Meadows. I would think Sweet Yare and Dira is probably going to come out firing from the gate. First time for Navarro. A horse that maybe can make a run from the back of the pack is the 6, Distinctly Blue, who should offer some value here. The horse is yet to win at Gulfstream, another turf maiden, but last time out going 7.5 furlongs around 2 turns at Gulfstream West. She tried to make 2 moves. She broke well, made the lead, rated, I think it was a questionable move to concede the lead at the half-mile pole, got to the outside, was second best. She's cutting back to 5. I like her at 5 furlongs at a shorter distance, especially when there's some pace in front of her, and I think she'll offer a little bit of value in here. This is a tough race, but I'm going to go 4, 6, and 8 to kick off my Stronach 5. Leg B at Laurel, race number 9, going 6 furlongs on the main track. It is a $10,000 maiden claiming race, and there's a deserved big favorite in here, the number 4, Cast the Lot, who's 3 to 5 on the morning line. Many folks are going to single Cast the Lot. She will be my only A. This horse made his drop into this level most recently and exceeded par for this level. Beyer par for this level is 51. Cast the Lot earned a 58. Maybe he had no excuses that day. He had dead aim on the winner from the 5/16 pole all the way down to the wire. He didn't change leads, and that probably cost him the race. But looking at this race, Cast the Lot just projects as the main and controlling speed. And if he runs back to anything like that last Beyer speed figure, he's going to be very, very tough. He'll be my lone A. I'm not sure I'm completely sold on singling him. The 2, Tom Terrific, is a horse I believe you can use as a backup. Last time out over a sealed, sloppy track, this horse didn't break well, advanced towards the inside, and ran okay, I thought, finishing evenly along the rail. Career best Beyer speed figure that day, but I think this horse is just as good on a faster track. 3 starts back, finishing 3rd at Delaware, going 5.5 furlongs. The gate has been a problem for Tom Terrific throughout his career. He's going to have to break, especially in a race where the favorite projects as the lone F. I think the 4, Cast the Lot, probably gets through this. You might want to use Tom Terrific as a backup. Leg C of the Stronach 5, approximate post time 4:30. It's an optional claiming race. Race number 9 at Gulfstream, going a 1-turn mile on the main track. I like the 7, Talk the Talk in here, shipping down from Laurel for trainer Jane Sibeli. This horse is going to stretch back out to a mile after several sprint efforts, but I liked what I saw most recently in that allowance race at Laurel, going 6 furlongs, moving late, galloping out well, finishing ahead of 2 next out winners. They earned Beyers of 76 and 71 when winning their very next race. And I like the Talk draws a comfortable outside attack post position. I think he has more tactical speed than he's shown in his last couple of races, and he might be able to sit just off of the early lead. Talk is going to be my main play in race number 9. If you want to use backups, or if you don't like Talk, consider Sister Gemma, the number 1, down towards the rail. I know it took this horse several starts to win her maiden, but she did so last time out over a muddy track, breaking and going right to the front. She should show some speed once again, and it just looks like she's in really sharp form. Jaramillo takes the mount, and the 5, Queen Nakia. Her merits are fairly obvious. She's got the class lines. 3rd at Belmont most recently, stakes placed at Delaware against a really good filly, Shimmering Aspen, 2 starts back, and prior to that, 2 wins at a mile, albeit both of those races around 2 turns. She's very likely in here for Anthony Pecoraro, a trainer that wins a lot of races, but recently hasn't been doing very well at Gulfstream. Queen Nakia I could certainly understand, but I like Talk in here. The 7 is an A. I probably would use Queen Nakia slightly more than Sister Gemma as backups. We moved out west to Golden Gate Fields for leg D, race number 3, mile and a 16th on the Tapeta, $12,500 condition claimer. I like the 7, Uncontainable, in here. This horse is seeking the 3rd straight victory. Didn't finish first last time out, but was placed first via disqualification, and didn't think he had a very comfortable trip. Broke from the outside that day. He's going to have to break from the outside on Friday as well. 4 wide around the first turn, wide around the second turn, trying hard all the way down to the wire, just missed by a head. Finished ahead of a common rival in here, the number 1, Van Cortlandt, who's actually your morning line favorite. That's been the story of Van Cortlandt's career. 28 starts, only 2 wins, has not won a race since October of 2017. Both of the lifetime wins on turf. I prefer Uncontainable, who I think has a lot more upside potential still than Van Cortlandt. He'd be my main A. Van Cortlandt would be a backup simply because he was close to this horse last time out and seems to be in good form. And if you don't like the race that they came out of, the 4, Elevate, might be for you. Steps up for Steve Sherman. This horse won last time out, but Uncontainable handled him back on October the 20th. He does have a good amount of tactical speed, however, and he should be forwardly placed in here along with horses like the 3, Wilshire Dude. But I liked Uncontainable's last race. He's in good form. He still has some upside. Hoping he can work out a trip is my main A. The 1 and the 4 would be my backups. We go to the final leg, and I think this is the toughest leg of this week's Stronach 5. It's leg E, approximate post time 5 o'clock Eastern, race number 10 at Gulfstream, 1 mile on the turf, open $16,000 claimer for fillies and mares. I'm using 4 horses and praying. In post position order, the 5, Sweet Story, is a horse who's making it her 3rd start off the claim. The first race off the claim was on dirt. She wasn't very good. She passed some tired horses last time out for $25,000. This is a double drop. Out of the non-winners of 1 other than 25 optional, down to 16. Give her some speed, and she'll come running at a price. I think Sweet Story is sort of a value horse that you're supposed to use in a race like this, in a bet like this. The 7 is a Colonel's Daughter, and Colonel's Daughter is going dirt to turf, and this horse just didn't appreciate the dirt last time out. You can draw a line through that race. 2 starts back at Gulfstream. I thought she ran a real solid 75 Beyer speed figure in winning at a mile and a 16th. She's a horse that can adapt to any kind of pace scenario, and she just seems very, very logical. You take away that little stakes race 3 back, you've got 2 wins in a row. I think Colonel's Daughter just seems to make a lot of sense in here, and I want to use the number 7. I also want to use the 9 and 10 in here. Let's talk a little bit about Trilby, the number 9. This is a horse who's being dangled in for the $16,000 tag after running an allowance and starter optional, claiming foes. Last time out at Gulfstream West, I thought she had a good trip. She saved ground in behind the lead. There just wasn't a lot of pace for her to run at, and she just couldn't make up any ground late. I think she is probably going to try to make 1 run here from the back of the pack. Paco Lopez retains the mount, and she drops in for the 16. And then number 10 to me is really, really interesting, and that's Paint the Corners. An 8-time winner who's going dirt to turf. Another horse that just doesn't like dirt. The race at Kentucky Downs, 2 starts back. First start off a short layoff. She didn't have to love the footing at Kentucky Downs. That's 3 times that this horse has run at Kentucky Downs without a win. I don't think she likes it down there. I think her race 3 starts back at Gulfstream was pretty good, where she tried to make a wide move into a slow pace, and she finished 4th behind Trilby. She has races on the back end that indicate she can win a race like this. I like her trainer, an under-the-radar trainer, Marat Sankal, can score at a price. So I'm going 5, 7, 9, and 10. Probably use them in equal weight in the final leg of this week's Stronach 5. Remember, $100,000 gross pool guarantee, 12%. Very low takeout, $1 minimum wager. All the action begins with leg A. Approximate post time, 4 o'clock, Gulfstream Park, race number 8. Best of luck.